I'd like to thank The Economist for yet another invitation at a very significant conference. Always a great opportunity for us to convey and communicate our views and perceptions on the security environment. And we're talking about a very fragile and changing security environment these days. Second, it's also a pleasure to be on this panel along with my friends, fellow colleagues, Minister of Defense of Israel, Benny Gantz, and of course, Charalambos Petridis, Minister of Defense of Cyprus. Now, with respect to the evolving security environment, first thing I have to say that it all has changed dramatically after the Russian invasion in the Ukraine. We have war on an all-out scale in European soil that made the European states and the West to react very swiftly. That indeed has happened. Not many expected, but it did happen. Many major decisions taken on a European Union level, but also on a NATO level. And coming from the recent Madrid summit, I must admit that NATO has indeed taken a few bold decisions. First of all, the decision to enlarge itself by accepting Sweden and Finland, two strong countries, two European countries with a very strong deterrent element due to the capabilities of their armed forces that would definitely enhance the total capability of NATO, and all that thanks to Vladimir Putin. Let's not forget that, who has achieved exactly the opposite of what he was aiming to achieve in the first place before he invaded Ukraine. The enlargement of NATO. Second, a few major decisions with respect to enhancing military presence of NATO forces all along the eastern flank, but not only along the northeastern flank, mostly the Baltic countries, but also the southeastern flank. More troops, better troops, more capabilities also in Bulgaria and Romania in view of the geopolitical environment and the theater of the Black Sea. So NATO is doing more, making bolder decisions, enhancing its total military presence along the southeastern flank, among others. Europe has followed suit by taking its own decisions, the most major being to align its strategic compass along with NATO's strategic concept and identify the threats, identify the needs, and also work on the development of capabilities. The decision to spend more and also spend better on defense, I think, was a major decision that has been taken on a European level. Some countries have helped with that, notably Germany in its historical decision to invest 100 billion euros in upgrading its total defense capabilities. But the need to spend more on defense comes out of the very fact of acknowledging a security threat on European ground and taking a strong position, a position of resolve and conviction and togetherness to counter that threat. I will not talk about the sanctions. I will just say that in order for the sanctions to work, we'll need to stick by these sanctions to uphold the decisions we've taken and to do it all together and make sure that the front does not break up. Because if it breaks up, it's good for the aggressors and not for the right side of history, as many people like to call it. However, what we need to acknowledge in a nutshell is that we're talking about a new security environment, a more challenging and complex and threatening security environment, which in turn requires decisions and mostly, and I'm sure Mr. Benny Gantz will agree with me, actions. We need action. And action is the best way to counter those threats and ensure a more stable and secure environment in the future against all antagonists and mostly against all types of authoritarianism and revisionism and expansionism. Let me also add those two very significant words.